Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's Series 2 right now, as Series 1 went the whole 5 games. We've recovered a little bit, and I hope you're ready for number 2. If you just joined us, my name is Nelson A.C. Silva, and I'm proudly joined by Max Formal Von Neumann. Apologies, I almost butchered your name. But, Game 1, 5 games, 4 overtimes. Can we expect the same coming into game number 2 for me?
I wish I could say yes. If we could only be so lucky to expect 5 games with 4 overtimes, but the Canyons are involved, and this is probably that top level standard of this tournament. This is the team everyone wants to beat, but are probably going to be struggling to do so. They are the heavy favorites, and I would be shocked to see them drop 2 games. They might drop one. Anything can happen. And like EC4, they're no slouches. They had to qualify for this tournament, and they had to qualify again through Spain, which had a lot of big names actually in that qualifier. However, it's the Canyons. I mean, they have
It's
that
true.
reputation for a reason. What was it? Fourth
Hey,
place in spring series?
we have a
The
tweet, by the
large.
way.
Ooh, oh,
We have
let's
tweet integration in our no, the other side.
uh,
Come
I had
my
one
side.
chance.
You had
Yeah,
one
there it
chance,
is.
you flopped it. There it is. Yeah. It's for the esports tweeting after their victory, saying that the victory is ours. They also tagged us, so if you want to go check it out, the highlight reels of that game. There were so many of them. I mean,
Hmm.
gosh. Incredible
Yeah,
best of 5 game, not gonna lie.
I mean, yeah, what more can you had your double touches, some pretty sweet pass plays, great recovery plays as well off of backboard. So there was a lot of fun goals in that series, and I
Mhm.
expect that level to kind of be risen with this next series. I'm curious to see if the Canyons, how they approach this game. Do they come at this one full bore, full like serious, let's just crush, give no hope, or do when they get a lead, are they the type of players who maybe start to have fun with it if they get a lead? Of course, I might be jumping ahead of myself right there.
You might
Needless to
be
say,
jumping ahead of
I
yourself. Anything
might
can
be. I
happen.
might be. I might be. I look. Caster curses are a thing, and if they're gonna bite me right now hard from just that line alone. However, I am leaning towards this Canyon side, but EC4 is their chance to play spoiler. Let's see what they got.
EC4 are on the blue side with Canyons on the orange side. Game number 2, or series number 2 in this case, is live on the Iberian League, brought to you by Esports League and Prozis. Now, the first offensive comes in the form of EC4 Gaming, but immediately the Canyons take back control of the bomb. And look at the difference between this series and the last. You do see
Yes.
that the Canyons have a lot more speed, or a lot more pep to their movements.
Absolutely. The pace of this game has seemingly doubled from what we saw in our first one right now. EC4, they're not slowpokes either. They're actually keeping up with the Cans at this stage as we're sort of playing extended ping pong right now, in the sense of it's not complete ping pong because it's a lot of solo pushes. However, it is EC4 with that first setup. However, Zamu with a great save into the pass to Tox. That's going to be our first goal. And sometimes the Canyons, they're just going to be a little bit too fast, as we see right here.
EC4 were baited onto the offense, and as soon as Canyons picked all 3 players on their side of the map, they took control of the ball and they went straight for EC4's goal. 1-0, favoring the Canyons.
Yeah, and that really was the Mew. I feel like it was really the star of that one. Tox just had to drive straight right there. It's just great positioning of the ball after the save, dropping it right into his teammate's lap. And that is what you do at that top level. And that, going back to the last series, was, again, kind of what the Bulls were lacking, sort of that positioning on the clears. And already, when you can execute it that quickly, there's just nothing that you can do on defense.
Not at all. Look at this, Canyon still retain control of the ball. Now it looks like EC4 trying to make a counter play, but look at Stake, how airborne he is, controlling the ball, setting it up for his team, but he tries to go for a solo play, nearly misses the goal.
Yeah, Carson, good patience from him on defense right there, was able to read it through the goal and actually did set up a counterattack, but already you can see like one of the Canyons' biggest strengths right now is just their ability to shut down any offensive effort coming from EC4. The first touch that they make on defense is usually positioned so well that they can immediately turn into a counterattack. As Tox right here kind of slow plays it, but even when the ball goes towards the middle, Zamu's already there, Stake is already there. This is what I mean about constantly rotating up and challenging for every ball. Whenever there's a chance you can get there, you have to take it if you want to compete with the best teams in this tournament.
Yep, and right now EC4 trying to pick up the pace, they're trying to retain control of the ball, but there seems to be a little bit of confusion when it comes to defense. The roles that they're assigned, they can't keep up the rotations because Canyon just move that fast.
EC4, though, are doing a very good job of keeping up with them. Whoa. All right, then.
Did you see that?
that is teamwork. Look, he wasn't going to make it there in time. Steak was kind of upside down and in the way. Just throw your teammate at the ball. You got to do what you got to do.
It worked though. That's what confused me. It worked. He managed to save the ball using his teammate as an extension of his own car. That was incredible from Canyons.
That was it. Zemu almost sets up his own solo play for the goal right there. Hattery goes up for it, but Tox will beat him to the ball. Karsten, the next man in the corner, can't find that clear because Zemu is waiting. XYZ doesn't get the touch he's looking for. 50-50 does go Hattery's way. However, he loses possession, so more offensive pressure will be put down as we're starting to play a little bit of corner ball right now.
Corner ball, but Zemu is already on the defense. Steak managed to save it and put it back on the offense for the Canyons. Trying to set it up for Tox. Tox is there, but Hadri manages to clear it out.
Karsten with no boost right there. I'm actually not sure that the Canyons were aware he had no boost. There comes the shot, but it will come off that side crossbar. Zemu with the pass to Tox is able to lead to that clear. How do the Canyons survive that one? EC4, they're going to want that back.
That absolutely will. That's got to be frustrating for the blue team as Canyons start to set up the ball inside the field of EC4. Steak puts it airborne. He gets it in. He's dribbling it through the air, but XYZ is there for the save.
Zamu, what was that swing and a miss? That was very uncharacteristic of the Canyons right there. However, so was that dribble fail coming from Hattery to sort of set up the attack from the Canyons. A little bit of sloppy play now starting to come from both of these teams.
Sloppy. I think it is just trying to have a little bit of fun. They already have one goal in. They're trying to see. They're limit testing EC4, I would argue, because look at how airborne the Canyons can go without actually losing control of their vehicles.
Yeah, I mean, they're just passing that ball straight down the middle. This is what you expect out of teams that deserve to be in the upper echelon, almost in the world right now. It's definitely because if you're atop EU, you're atop the world. EU best region. There, I said it. Come at me, NA bros. Come at me, OCE bros. As more pressure right now being put by the Canyons. Talk's going to try to set up through the corners. MU can't quite get to the pass in time.
It's not that he didn't get the pass in time. He didn't get the positioning of the car right to get the nice ball, but Tox coming out of the blue, riding the wall on that one with a huge pass from Steak.
Yeah, I mean, that was just one of the most clean double touches I have seen. Granted, there was no one on defense there to challenge him. Someone should have been up on that backboard just in case, but that's where the hole in the defense lies, and Tox recognizing that punishes, and whoa, that was an interesting kickoff.
So, Canyons have two players commit to the initial ball, but they both give up as soon as they get close to it.
Like that before. Yeah, it was a fake. I guarantee you that pull away was intentional. It was the third man who was going to look to bang it. And you can see he actually set Tox up for the goal. Unfortunately, his shot was a little bit off. So that was a very cheeky play right there. You know, the kind of thing that you only pull off, like attempt to pull off when you're 2 goals up at the end of a game. If that had worked, that would have been phenomenal. That said, ball still in the air.
There it is.
Having fun with it. Eventually it will hit the ground, and the Canyons take a very solid game 1 win.
Absolutely. EC4, all things considered, they fought well. They fought valiantly against the favorite team, but Canyons overall just feels like they've outclassed EC4. EC4 still have a couple of shots left, or a couple of games left up their sleeve if they want to challenge Canyons for one of the top spots. And they absolutely can, but there needs to be a little bit more consistency in their game plan and their rotations, especially.
Like the thing about EC4 is I think they played 90% a good game, but those 10% moments, they would instantly get punished. Again, one person not reading the backboard, Tox immediately able to put the ball there, follow through with the double touch, and get, honestly, was probably the most mechanically impressive goal so far today. Like, that was absolutely insane. And similarly, the offensive rotation breaks down. They drop the shot in sort of an awkward spot. Immediately, Zemu is able to drop the ball right into Tox's lap. It's just the cleanest boom, boom, goal scored. EC4, you have to play near perfectly in order to beat this Canyons team, because those little mistakes, they're going to come back to bite you each and every time.
And it's not that we haven't seen the double taps being performed in the last series between For the Win and GTZ Bulls. I think it's just the fact that it was such a fast-paced play and the ball gained such a speed. I personally haven't seen something being executed that cleanly before.
Again, he was given so much space to work with, and he's the players at the Canyons level are mechanically gifted that if you give him that much space and you give him an opening like that, they're going to hit that goal. I would have actually been a little bit disappointed had Tox actually missed that one, but it still always looks so good when you see double touches performed like that.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Well, first goal belongs to EC4.
Yeah, that was just a good pass play right there to set up XYZ, and unfortunately the 50-50 didn't go the Canyons' way. Hadri kind of sitting in no man's land, lets the ball drop right into his lap, and he's going to bang that one in. So this is what I mean. EC4, they can keep up that speed. If they can just play a consistent game and not make any mistakes, they can win this.
Well, they absolutely can. They just need to play. They just need to stack all 3 minutes from EC4 in front of their goal for the next 4.5 minutes, and they've actually secured 1 game against the Canyons if they want to play like that. Canyons super high tempo, still trying to get the ball rolling on their side, trying to get some boost now as they're reestablishing their positioning up against EC4, who have the lead. But the 50-50 goes favorable to the Canyons here as EC4 retake control of the ball, try to take it through the sideline, but don't quite get it. As a great defense
what a
game
save.
for the Canyons. Exactly.
Yes, Steak, that was a fantastic save right there. I actually thought EC4 was going to find that next goal. Something that I'm noticing that the Canyons are doing really well, and I think it's giving them a slight edge, is they're using the walls and the backboards to set up a lot of their passes so far in this one. However, Zamu, awkward miss right there. Fortunately, he's going to be able to recover and gets a good pinch off the wall to set up the team. Pass just sails right over Tox's head. The challenge, though, will be won by Tox, passing it back to Zamu. 50-50 actually goes XYZ's way, but Steak is able to make that save. And we're starting to see EC4, they're feeling more confident right now. They're actually starting to win a lot of these challenges, and that's why they're able to establish a bit more offensive pressure. However, one small gap, and it's nearly going to be enough to punish.
Almost enough to punish, but not quite. Now, back on the offense, EC4, and a huge crossover from Steak and the Canyons to defend that ball from their goal. EC4 putting the pedal to the metal, and they're getting some profit off of it.
Yeah, that was an awkward touch right there by Karsten, however, and that's going to set up the Canyons. Shot nearly good for Zamu, but he's able to recover through the corner. Awkward positioning, actually, right there from EC4. It's going to be a 2v1 as Hadri does not have boost, and that's the odds that the Canyons were looking for. Zamu ties this game up.
With an assist from Steak, he punts off the ball from out of control from in this case, from EC4. Sets it up for Zamu, who is just in the right position to get a goal and tie up the scoreboard.
What's interesting is I think they would have recognized that Hadri had no boost right there, and that's why he actually took the shot right over the top of Hadri's head. So great positioning on that shot. If he had gone for the opposite end of the goal, the save would have been made right there. That was actually incredibly accurate, especially considering the circumstance. So a fantastic goal coming from the Canyons.
Let's see if they can pull up another one, or if, in this case, EC4 have something else up their sleeve here. Oh, Audrey. Gets the demo on Tox, but it doesn't matter because Zamue secures the goal here.
Okay, so that demo was like half good, half not so great. You can see right there in the replay, Hadri and I believe XYZ kind of got themselves tangled up, and Hadri sort of had this mentality like, I'm in the wrong position, I need to get one of them in the wrong position, so he goes for the demo. But that sort of misplay in the defensive rotation is what opened up the goal to follow through a bit later. He sort of demoed the wrong car right there.
Oh my.
And that led to a Canyons lead. That's it, Hadri. Great air dribble setup, but the fall-through shot, not quite there.
All right. Interesting play here from Hadri, but now let's see what else they got. Because Hadri couldn't set up really for anyone. Now Canyons have the ball on EC4's side. Try to get it in. Put it on the midfield again, where XYZ is already trying to lead the ball into a good position for EC4 to connect it inside, but Karsten doesn't quite manage to find the positioning. Airborne to get the ball rolling inside of Canyons' goal. Now, Karsten back on the defense, clears the ball away from the Canyons, tries to collect the boost, tries to deny the boost as well from Tox. He still managed to get it anyway.
Tox having a little bit of car trouble there, it looked like, for the moment. A bit of hesitation nearly cost him, and you can see EC4 definitely turning that around. Steak, unfortunately, won't be able to get that second touch for the Canyons, and now Karsten has a good situation. It's 1v1, has the flick, but he flicks it a bit too high, and because Hadri was playing so close to him, they're not able to get that second touch. It was a great setup, but unfortunately, at that final step, that final shot, EC4 unable to finish the goal.
Unable to finish the goal. They lacked an extra member there to actually set up for it on the center field. But look at Zamue. Look at Zamue just clearing the ball, dribbling all the way over to EC4's half of the map. as he collects the boost and gets ready to go back into the action. Tox preserving his own boost. Nobody on center field to try to get it in as Zamu tries to regain control. Bounces it back. Off the wall. And it's Tox who gets it set up. Goes in for the double touch. Doesn't quite find a positioning for it. It's Hadri again to clear it over to Canyon's side.
Hadri and Karsten have been doing a very good job in keeping up with the Canyons aerial play, actually. A lot of the challenges they've been going for, they've been winning, as we can see right there, Hadri getting it past one. However, XYZ, he's almost been like not at that same confidence level. Like his 50-50 percentage would be a bit lower. And every time the Canyons seem to go up against XYZ, they're coming out on top. And that's kind of been the deciding factor in a lot of these challenges. However, Hadri has a chance to set up his team, but Fox will take it to the corner to slow the pace down.
It just feels like EC4, more times than not, are just trying to clear the ball off of their side, not actually setting up for a play. They're just lobbing it all the way over the Canyon side, waiting for them to respawn with a play of their own. Now, 2-1 on the scoreboard means that if this ball touches the ground, it's Canyons' game to play, and there it is, 2-0 for the Canyons.
Yeah, but a well-fought game by EC4, who are definitely keeping this a lot closer than I was expecting. They are playing at that Canyon speed. They are playing at that Canyon height. The issue is it's always just like one or two 50-50s that don't quite go their way, that all of a sudden they get punished. And as soon as the Canyons, again, get that monochrome of space to work with, they are going to find that goal. And EC4, they started off very, very strong in that one. Like they were winning, and even throughout the majority of that game, like when the balls were in the middle of the pitch, they were actually winning a majority of those 50-50s. But the second the walls came into play, it felt like the Canyons just were that bit faster off that wall, finding that more correct angle. And awkwardly enough, it was always XYZ who was in those positions who had to challenge for that. And he did lose a lot of those 50-50 challenges. Granted, I think that also has to do with his positioning on the field and sometimes who he was up against.
Yeah.
But EC4, they're playing much better than I expected. They're almost at that level where they might be able to surprise and maybe take a game back. In fact, I actually wouldn't be too surprised if they do win one game in the series. Granted, it would have to be this next one. But Canyons right now, as soon as they flip that on switch on a play, it feels like they're getting those goals.
Yeah, I feel like what EC4 have to do is organize their thoughts a little bit better, because you can see that they have the defensive prowess. They just need to know what to do on the counter play. I mean, you see them; they had a good offense on right out the kickoff, and they managed to create some problems for the Canyons on the second game, especially on the defensive here. But truth be told, their counteroffensives have been lackluster, to say the least. They just throw the ball onto the Canyon side and expect for the best.
Yeah, that has been what's been happening so far, as we are kicking off with our next game right now. I have to admit, I'm having a little bit of technical difficulties on my end, so I'm just going to let you take over for a little bit.
That's fine. We just see the Canyons once again on the offense. No goals have been scored so far for 4 minutes and 40 seconds on the clock, and it is match point here for the Canyons. Huge ball going straight for the goal. Zamue tries to set it up, but XYZ covers the flaws here on the armor of EC4. Hadri tries to 1v9 or 1v6 this game. Zamue sets it up, doesn't quite get the goal here, or the ball rolling in the way of EC4's goal. Stake now on the rooftop, trying to get some distance off. Is once again Karsten just punts the ball over to the Canyon side. XYZ gets the demo, and now it's the Canyon's turn to go on the offense here. We take the ball. Hadri tries to set it up, and it's Tox who clears it out.
I am back, by the way.
Hello.
Hello again. I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. Back in on this action. I'm happy I didn't miss a goal just yet.
Not yet. Great defense from Stake. And Zamue as well. EC4 tried to get an offensive play going, but the Canyons are just so disruptive.
Yeah, definitely. Again, the Canyons, we're seeing a lot more of their defense, it sounds like, this game. However, Stake tries to pass it to himself, unable to get that next touch. It says going to try to play through the corner. Good pass to Tox, but it's just not quite going to connect.
No, and you already have Zamue clearing out Karsten on the offense here. It's a 2v3 offense from EC4. Karsten tries to retake the ball airborne, gets it. Punts it away from the Canyons. They're fighting a good fight. We need to remind ourselves that this is match point for the Canyons.
Yeah, and we're seeing a lot more offense actually coming from this EC4 side. They've been able to tighten up their wall play actually and their corner play, and they've had a longer sustained attacks. However, they still haven't found that gap just yet in that Canyons defense. And when the Canyons have been having those opportunities, they have been able to bounce back against them. So it's still a very tight game. We're still looking for that big sort of solo play, I feel like, or maybe that big pass play to sort of break either of these
Oh,
defenses. At this stage, Canyons nearly found it right there. Good save by XYZ.
yeah, EC4 just stacking two members inside the goal so that no ball can come through and maintain the status quo of 0-0 and hope for a miracle play from Hadri, maybe. You see Carson rolling in, tries to get the ball in on his lonesome self. Feel like EC4 currently are lacking on the team plays. They need to pass more. They need to be more proactive on the setups for their teams.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Good goal. Potentially, Tox doesn't quite have that angle. But to follow through on the point that you just made, it's not that they're not going for the pass plays. It's just that the Canyons have been that bit faster and have actually been doing a great job in sort of interrupting them. And the thing is, you can't really go for defensive pass plays if you haven't been connecting them consistently, because that's just going to lead to an interception and a goal. So that's kind of why EC4 has been relying on these solo plays, which Carson nearly turns into a goal. That XYZ will be able to crack the defense, and that is the brilliancy of a solo play right there, because when you do pull it off, you can strike very quickly.
And it all started with Carson trying to go for the solo play himself. Great defense from the Canyons, but you had XYZ already set up to just punch it in the goal and set up a good score lead for EC4. You said they were gonna be able to seal the game. You have 1 minute and 30 seconds left to play. The Canyons want to clean it out, but I mean EC4 have other ideas because it's 2-0 on the scoreboard. Hadri claims this goal.
Yeah, and that is the Canyons. Essentially, you know, think ice hockey power play right now. They pull everyone on offense, leave no one on defense, and Hadri is able to get a great touch on the ball and throw it all the way back at them. So EC4 looking in a prime position to steal one game away. We can possibly put those brooms away as well, because the Canyons, they're now on the back foot for the first time this series.
Yeah, no sweeping is going to happen, it seems, but you still have 1 minute and 20 seconds left to play. Great setup from the Canyons, but there's nobody left to rebound on that ball. They gets demoed, but the ball goes in. Two members again, Hadri and XYZ on the defense here from EC4. But you have a great play from Zamoe getting denied by EC4. Hadri now on the offense. 2-0. They want to go for the third goal. Zamoe denies them that entry as Carson gets the third goal for EC4. What is going on?
XYZ was the savior of that play, 100%. That pinch save he got off that top crossbar was absolutely phenomenal. And I think the Canyons even felt that one was going in, because it helped enable that fast counterattack as Canyons were a bit looser, a bit slower on that defensive rotation. 3 goals up, under a minute to go. EC4, they're probably going to be taking this one.
Probably 50 seconds left on the clock. Canyon's not so happy because this is a blow to their ego more than anything. 4-0. What a blowout game from EC4.
Yeah, we're at the stage of the game right now where I think the Canyons, they're going to be going full aggression, maybe going for some cheeky little solo plays at this stage, and it has a double-edged effect. Either you pull off some crazy play, you get like a goal, you feel that momentum, or the other team keeps scoring counter goals against you, you write the game off as a blowout, and you just have a completely reset mental going into game number 4. I'm actually not too surprised to see EC4 starting to run up the score a bit right now, because the Canyons, they're probably already thinking ahead, probably already thinking at game 4, okay, 0-0,
Yeah.
let's just get ready for that one.
But I mean, with every goal that goes into their side of the field, I mean, it hurt. I mean, you can have that mental reset, but it still stings to see that score going up and up and up. Hadri tries to get the 5th goal in, but 10 seconds left on the clock. Zamwe at least tries to get the honor goal in on game number 3, but it does seem that this game belongs to EC4.
Yeah, EC4 are going to take one, and they're going to take one with vengeance right there. I've been saying it all series long. You know, EC4, they have the speed to keep up with the Canyons. It's just been little mistakes that cost them in the first 2 games that the Canyons were able to capitalize on. Well, this game, those mistakes were back on that orange side. A lot of times it was just over-aggressive positioning, not really falling back in time, giving not enough space to make those defensive rotations. And EC4, they were the ones doing the punishing this time around, and it's a well-deserved win for this blue side. It could be the start of that comeback.
Could be the start of the comeback. Could this be a reverse sweep for EC4, or is You know, or are the Canyons just gonna bite back now in game number 4 and say, you know what? We've had enough of this. No more playing around. No more Mr. Nice Canyons. I don't know. I'm
I,
interested to see what's gonna happen now.
I'd like to think we're going to see no more Mr. Nice Canyons. A lot of times when the favorite does drop a game, they'll usually come back and come back with a vengeance, especially if it's actually a one-sided affair like that, because it's easier to sort of do that mental reset. Like, okay, well, that was a funsy game. That was an anomaly. That's not going to be a sign of things to come, as opposed to when you lose, a 0-0 or a 1-1 overtime game where
Yeah,
you are trying your hardest from start to finish and you let it slip through your grasp. Those ones tend to sting more.
they do. I mean, we'll have to wait and see because honestly, Canyon's kind of lackluster on the defense. I mean, sure, they went full offense on this game. They're limit testing, let's call it that. They were limit testing against EC4. And they seem to have a little bit of issues coming into game number 4, much like what we saw on our first set. Fortunate turn of events. Unfortunate turn of events here, but we'll get the games running as soon as possible, ladies and gentlemen. Please bear with us.
Yeah, yeah, we'll be able to get back into it very, very shortly. It seems to be game three curse. So whatever happens in game three, that's when it's like, yeah, okay. Server's overheating, splash some water on it. Wait, actually, no, don't splash water on it. Do not splash water on the servers.
No, no, do
But
it.
find a way to do it.
Do a flip
Yeah,
as well.
backflip with the water bucket.
Yeah, punt it in the
Sweet.
server. Just slam dunk that water in the server. But yeah, EC4 could seem to have some room to breathe here against the Canyons. Maybe the Canyons were just taking a small break on this game 3. They didn't want to clean sweep EC4 just yet. So they gave them the benefit of the doubt. And EC4 took that benefit and ran with it. 4 goals. This was our biggest scoreboard so far. 4-0.
Yeah, actually, it actually was. And I mean, again, the Canyons, they were keeping it competitive for the first 3 minutes in that one. It was only like towards the final 2 minutes where everything kind of
Mm,
started to fall apart everywhere. EC4, though, I think that win is going to be huge for the side, especially if you look at it as a game of momentum. The fact that they were able to get that win, the fact that they were finally able to play a complete game with minimal errors, that's what the confidence says you need to go. That tells you, you know what, we can do that. We can take this team.
yeah.
Maybe we're not in trouble. Maybe they're in trouble. And
uh,
if EC4 is going to be able to turn this one around, they made that first step. Now, reverse sweeps, they're always difficult, but they're
they
always
are.
amazing when they happen. So
Yes,
I'm
they are.
I'm curious to see if EC4 can keep this momentum rolling, or if the Canyons strike quickly and just sort of shut it down. If the Canyons get a goal in like the first minute in this one, I kind of worry that that might just take all the win out of EC4's sails.
I mean, more so than just not making mistakes, EC4 were being able to capitalize on the Canyons' mistakes. The
Mhm.
Titans do bleed, you know? And so let's see if EC4 have something else up their sleeves, or if the Canyons are able to completely mental reset as we expect them to do coming in to game 4. We are ready to go in and get back into the action. 2-1 on the scoreboard. It is still match point for the Canyons.
Yeah, it is still match point. I'm ready to see where we go. I also am coming to a sort of off-topic conclusion that I am actually trapped in the Matrix and I get these occasional glitches, and that's why I seem to phase in and out of existence at time.
Oh
What
my.
people don't realize is Australia is an entirely digital country, and well, sometimes kangaroos eat the wires. Anyways, we're on to the
We're on the pitch, 5 minutes in the game. You're still looking at our pretty little faces, but we're ready to go in. We almost had a goal right now. XYZ with a huge shot to open up the hostilities, but the Canyons, they're lining up a shot and they get the first goal.
And that is why you need to connect on those goals if you're going to pull everyone right there. It looked like it was Karsten at the end who just had a bad read, unfortunately, and just let Zemu escort that ball all the way into the goal. Sorry, it wasn't Karsten. It was Hadri. I don't want to flame the wrong player here. It was Hadri who had a read, and he was the one who missed it. And so one little mistake, it costs you everything. Canyons up 1-0.
Canyons up 1-0 and still on the offense. Count 2. Zamue with the 2-goal lead here on the Canyons. No holes barred. They're going all in.
Look at Steak! He's just taking Hadri into the corner of the goal and saying, no, you don't get to play Rocket League today. You made the mistake before, and now you are done into the penalty box. 2-0.
Well, they're coming in full force. Again, the Canyons, they're angry. They didn't like that. It's staying to lose 4-0 to EC4. And then XYZ gets the blowout. Carson tries to get the ball rolling in favor of EC4, but no boost to Hadri, so he's going to preserve it a little bit more. XYZ tries to go airborne, sets it up for Carson, but the Canyons make it roll in favor of themselves. They try to punt it in. Hadri with a huge defense.
What is Zamu doing? He spent half of that play driving around in no man's land, and then when he could have actually gone for a real bang, was trying to go for a flip reset. And this is sort of what I was talking about before. When do the Canyons start to really have fun with it and go for these styled plays? Well, it looks like it's happening right now. Steak tries to pass it to Zamu, who'll get the boost, jumps off the wall, is able to outreach everyone, passing it back to Fox, who takes the shot, but Hadri is there to make the save.
That is amazing coordination coming in from the Canyons. I mean, you'd expect this from the top 4 team of the Spring Cup. Now, the ball's rolling in their side of the field. Offensive play coming in from EC4. The Canyons, however, back on the offense, try to bounce the ball off the corner, set it up for someone to come pick it up. Carson's already there to reset the aggro and get something rolling in favor of EC4. XYZ comes in, Tox gets the demo on Carson, forces him to respawn as Hadri tries for the aerial, doesn't quite reach the ball.
Yeah, this is definitely a much more serious Canyons actually in this one as well. Even when they miss the ball, they're still following through with bumps.
Wait, on the BM, what the heck was that?
That's what I mean. Zamway, he's been having the most fun in this game for sure. He's been going for like cheeky flip reset. He was looking for a chance, you know, to really go underneath the ball and get the turtle goal. He's not going to get the turtle this time because the ball did bounce a little high, but my goodness, that's a feels bad moment, unfortunately, if you're a fan of EC4.
It is. Now they are in trouble. EC4 are taking the full force of what the Kenyans have to offer, but EC4, they're not dead yet. They're not just going to roll over and let it happen as they get the goal in their favor.
Oh, XYZ just made Zamu look silly, even sillier than when he was on his back right there. A slow read from the defense leaves all the time in the world for that play to set up. And EC4, when given space, they can punish just as hard as the Canyons can.
Yes, they can. Let's see if they can keep on punishing on Canyons' mistakes because they look solid. But solid can only get you so far if you're making these micro mistakes that EC4 can capitalize on. They just need to read the right moment to actually go in. Carson gets a demo. XYZ doesn't come in time for the defense. And Zamue gets the hat trick.
Yeah, he just had a nice read on that one. It was really a great pass from Tox, and I don't think EC4 was quite aware how far forward Zamue actually was. So Zamue will be able to take that shot straight down the middle. It's now 4-1. Canyons, I think last game they got a little angry. They're taking this one at that faster pace, at that next level, and it doesn't look like EC4 was really ready for it.
Doesn't look like it at all. But however, 4-1. It's now 4-0, and you still have 2 minutes left on to be played. We're about the halfway mark right now. And EC4 try to go for an offensive play. Hadri moves over one player, but Steak is there to clear the ball in favor of the Canyons, who are now on the offense.
Ooh, yeah, but it's a good play by XYZ. Unfortunately, doesn't have the height for that next touch, so it's up to the next man, Hadri, but he doesn't find the angle either. That should be a pass. However, no one was there to catch it for the Canyons. Carson could be looking to punish, but 2 defenders are able to get there in time. They double commit, but it doesn't matter because the touch from Tox was that good. He's able to set up the rest of his team. Going to try and slow play the ball into the corner. Where's the man? Actually, he went for the pinch, but XYZ stopped the shot from Zamway from being made into effect. Tox goes for the demo. Nice little bit of punish right there, and then Tox goes ahead and gets that clear.
The XYZ now sets up the ball for Tox to clear up for Zamue. Goes in for the 4th goal of the game, but no, Carson is airborne, saving it away. You're not going to make the win easy for the Canyons. No way, no how. Carson still on the offense, tries to get the ball rolling. Zamue lets the ball flip over him, and oh, what a play from XYZ.
I want to see the angle that XYZ came from again right there. Okay, so yeah, he kind of throws himself off balance and then is in no man's land. And I don't think anyone was expecting him to come from there. He was going to go for a ground pinch, but XYZ just able to throw him off balance, get that goal. 2 goals in a minute 20. It's definitely doable. This game is not over yet.
Not yet. Zamue now tries to set up an offense, waits for Tox's rebound, goes back on the defense as he sees the ball being cleared by EC4. Hadri is there, so it's XYZ. Hadri clears the ball away from Zamue's control, and now it's up to Tox to try to clear it in, but a huge defense comes in from EC4.
Oh, Zamway not quite in the position right there and can't make the recovery. Talks before on that shot attempt. He went for the fake, actually. He was just going to try and make the defense look silly and overcommit, but fortunately for EC4, they were able to read it. Karsten trying to go for a ceiling setup, but unfortunately he won't get to the ball in time. XYZ misses the ball. That was a pretty critical miss, but Hatry is there to have his team's back. Bump not able to get there in time as Zamway slows the pace down, keeps it in the corner. 30 seconds remaining. Canyons just have to hold on, and it looks like they might even get another goal for their lead.
Maybe, maybe not. Stake puts it in favor of the Canyons, tries to set it up for the rest of the team, goes in, Tox, what a shot, but it bounces off the crossbar of EC4's goal. It's Karsten now, 10 seconds left on the clock, still time to make a move, but the Canyons' goal is open, 6 seconds, Hadri scores the third goal and 1 away from the tie.
Yeah, I think the Canyons saw what I saw at about that 15-second mark, and so they went all in on offense right there, as it looked like EC4's defense wasn't quite ready for it. However, when you go all in, when you don't commit, the counterattack can come back to bite you. Now, with 6 seconds remaining, this ball has to stay in the air.
It has to stay in the air, and it is in the air, but it's not in favor of EC4 as Zamwe, 1 second off, scores the 5th goal and probably nails the last nail in the coffin of EC4.
So the Canyons for the past 3 kickoffs have been faster on the cheap play, and finally it turns into a goal right there. As you saw, several times with these kickoffs, they were getting these shots very quickly off, but they just weren't connecting. And finally, when they do get one to hit the back of the net, well, that's going to be the killing blow. Congratulations to the Canyons. They take their series 3-1.
3-1. And what a series it was, proving why the Canyons are the favorites, but still, EC4 showed some really good signs of being a competitive team regardless. So we'll have to see as the league continues how they'll end up in the actual scoreboard.
Yeah, absolutely. I was impressed, very impressed by EC4 and how they were able to match the same pace that the Canyons were putting out. Now, granted, once we hit that 4th game, it also seemed like the Canyons took it up to that next level, a level that we actually kind of saw back in game number 1. However, this is a promising sign for EC4 and really probably a promising sign for all the teams coming from Spain in this one, because when looking at the lineups, I was leaning more towards the Spanish side in this. I do feel like they're probably going to be a bit stronger, probably a bit faster. And if you were to compare this series with the first series that we saw today, you definitely saw faster Rocket League in game number 2. Now,
absolutely,
what we didn't see though was some of the miraculous saves that we saw in game number 1 and some of that iron wall defense. This was a much higher scoring game because these teams were taking faster risks. But when these two clashes combine, maybe in a little bit, hint, then we'll really get a real judge of how each of these countries line up.
Yeah, I'm actually really curious to know how For the Win, for example, plays up against Canyons, the 2 different play styles coming to clash. See how they actually match up, if the high tempo gameplay from the Canyons is going to surface over the more slow paced defensive style from For the Win. But before we get into the next game of Supermode versus Weedem Bots, we have an interview with one of the victors from the Canyons, Steak. Steak, how you doing, buddy?
Hello.
Hello. So, how did you feel about this last game, man?
Like after the lose, we just tried to focus because at the start we were not playing that good. So after the lose, we said, okay, we need to focus, or maybe we can lose this series.
Okay.
Okay,
But
is that?
Go ahead.
You go ahead. Sorry. Wait,
no, go ahead.
So, building off of the focusing, though, Zemu in particular, right there, does he focus better when his car is upside down and just watching the ball sail over his head into the goal right there? Is that a secret focus technique?
Well, we were just playing not that good, as I said, but after the lose, I told to Samuel, okay, next time just try to save it, and maybe we can do something, and try to come back. But yeah, we still managed to get the win.
Fair enough. Okay, so you're telling me that game number 3 was not you testing how EC4 played. They actually played better than you in game 3.
Well, yeah, they actually played quite good.
Okay.
They surprised us.
Fair enough.
That was going to be my next question, actually, although you kind of answered that, because EC4 definitely looked like they were able to keep up with the speed you guys were playing at, especially in games 2 and 3, where they were starting to challenge a lot more and sometimes winning those. As you said, it kind of caught you off guard. Does that sort of tell you maybe some of these other teams in this tournament, do you feel they also might have that ability to keep up with you guys? Do you still feel super confident that you're probably the best team in this? How does that game sort of shape your perspective on what this tournament might be like for the Canyons?
Like we still think like we are the best team in this tournament, but they're a team to look at. Like they play fast and they can give like a surprise to the teams that are very good as well.
What about the other teams in the tournament? Do you feel like anybody can match up to your skill level?
Like actually, Los Hombres de Paco, I think it's called. That it's Nachito, Kier, and
Mhm.
Demenza. They are very good as well. So that will be a match to see because they're very good. So I think they can
Yeah.
cause us problems.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Well, that being said, however, thank you so much for your time, dude. We really appreciate you coming in for the interview with us. I don't know if you want to ask anything else, Max.
Nah, we're good.
We're good. Gotcha.
We're
Thank you so
good.
much, Steak, for your time.
Thank you
From our
guys.
side, though, see you, dude. We're
See
gonna
ya.
take a short break before we head into the third series of tonight, or this afternoon. In this case, tonight for Max. This guy's Australians, man. You know. But short break before we head into Super Mode versus We Them Bots. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with you.